So it says leatherbacks, the largest of the sea turtles, when subjected to the conditions of captivity, are susceptible to a wide variety of fatal diseases with which they would never come in contact if they lived in the wild. So essentially that's just like a really long sentence to say when leatherbacks are in captivity, they come across diseases that they wouldn't get if they lived in the wild. Cool. It is surprising, therefore, that the likelihood that a leatherback will reach its theoretical maximum life expectancy is about the same whether the animal is living in the captivity or the wild. So what are our two facts that are weird that are happening at the same time?
Well, the two facts are that that leatherbacks are susceptible to a wide variety of fatal diseases with which they would never come in contact if they lived in the wild.
Yeah, so this is like point for the wild, right? We're like, we're thinking like, oh, leatherbacks are probably better off in the wild, but then it goes on to say,
but it says that whether the animal is living in captivity or in the wild, the life expectancy is the same.
Yes, so we need to explain why is this life expectancy the same? And so what is your prediction of why it might be the same?
Why would the life expectancy of leatherbacks be the same if they lived in the wild?
Or the captivity? Yeah, like why could it be? Because like, why might it be?
Well, taking the fact of what I know about animals, I would say this in particular. So turtles in particular, leatherbacks, they have to be in a certain type of weather, right? Whether they're in the captivity or whether they are in the wild. So to them, it's the same thing. So in the wild and in captivity, the degrees is about the same. Leatherbacks need water. You can have water in the wild or in the captivity. If you have all of those things, you still will catch a disease and you still will die about the same. How did I know that? Because we tested it out in class.
So we know that when it comes to diseases, turtles are worse off in captivity. But could there be anything else that could harm the turtles in the wild that isn't in the captivity that might make it so?
Yeah, so like pollen or just poisonous things like.
Okay, pollen. Let's say pollen. Like we're looking for something else, like because like in captivity they're taking care of them, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe like this like maybe like in maybe in captivity they have veterinarians. So like even though they get sick more often, they actually take care of them. I don't know, like.
Yeah, they get sick more often in captivity.
Yeah, but maybe they actually live just as long because they have like the best care possible.
Right.
Or something. All right, so let's look at these answers. So now look at these answer choices and see like if you can see something that explains why it's the same or why the wild isn't better. Because we're not comparing leatherbacks and other aquatic reptiles, so it's irrelevant.
Number B is automatically incorrect as well.
Yeah, because we're not comparing sea turtles to other marine animals. We're comparing leatherback or captivity leatherbacks and wild leatherbacks. That's all we care about.
The statement doesn't say the stimulus doesn't say that leatherbacks are killed by predators, but
so this is a paradox question. So we get to bring in new information. So this is saying so like if it were true. So if these statements were true, would it help explain it?
Okay, yeah. So number C could be.
Yeah, because that's
and number D.
Well, it's not pollen. It's giving us something else that's in the wild that's not in captivity. So your prediction was like perfect in the sense of like you knew what you were looking for, just a different type. All right, what about D?
It could be.
Okay, so the reason that D is wrong and not as good as C is because C has the word most, which is saying more than 50%. And D is saying few. Like, we don't really know what few means. And just because this is saying that few have good enough information to make captivity good, this would be like so we already have like -1 point for captivity. D would give us like -2 points for captivity. So it's like not explaining why they're the same age, right? We would think that this would still make us think that they're going to live longer in the wild.
Okay.
All right. And then what about E?
I don't like that one.
Yeah, we don't care about the size. Like, who cares about the size? And so that's why C is our answer.